In Afghanistan, relief agencies are tackling a different type of crisis. A food crisis deepens every month and year in Afghanistan with no relief in sight. And now the World Food Programme has warned, with a harsh winter approaching, this crisis can deepen to vicious extremes. Here's the story.
Loaded with bags of flour and rice, Khalid Riaz turned off a dusty road into Markhore Sulfa village, about 45 minutes drive from the bustling heart of Herat city in western Afghanistan. The 25-year-old volunteer is part of a non-profit organization that is involved in the delivery of emergency food packages. He would take everyday necessities like grains and cooking oil that would be enough for a family to survive on for the next few months.
Afghan people are suffering greatly from the economic crisis. The villages we visit are far from the city, where residents do not have access to clean water and food. Therefore, when we go to these villages to distribute food packages, the people become very excited and run towards us, which presents a challenge for us to control the crowd. From one perspective, we can understand their behavior, as it is coming from a place of real need.
With Afghanistan's economy reeling and millions of people going hungry, many non-profit groups are trying to fill a growing humanitarian void, providing aid to destitute families. Meet 19-year-old Medina, who is also on a mission to deliver supplies to families living in dire conditions. Each time Medina volunteers to make deliveries, her 15-year-old brother has to leave classes to accompany her as her mehram or male guard.
People in Afghanistan and especially in Herat need a lot of help after the earthquakes because their homes are destroyed. We can't help a family many times because many people are in need. So we only help one family once. If a family is very needy, they may receive aid from us a second time.
According to the United Nations, 1 in 10 Afghan children under 5 is malnourished. Sadiqa, a doctor with the organization Doctors Without Borders, says the number of patients with severe acute malnutrition and other complications is increasing daily. These children, most under 2, have chronic conditions like congenital heart disease and neurological disorders, as well as severe issues like pneumonia, measles, or sepsis.
Number of patients are increasing day by day, month by month, even year by year, and more of our patients are less than 2 years old. When the patients are come to our pediatric triage, there are many types of patients.
For 2 decades, Afghanistan was mired in a war that ended abruptly in August 2021, when the United States made its chaotic withdrawal and Taliban took over the country. Today, Afghanistan is isolated by sanctions that affect the banking system and other measures. Economic output plunged 27% between 2020 and 2023.
The financial situation of our people is not good at all because their income has reached a near zero level. The markets have become very slack and the financial situation of the people has deteriorated. I have been working in this field for the past 29 years. The financial situation of the people has gradually worsened over the past 2 to 3 years, and this year it has reached the lowest level.
The country's plight is compounded by its susceptibility to climate shocks like droughts and floods. Afghanistan is also competing for the attention of donor countries as wars in Gaza, Ukraine, and Sudan draw humanitarian funding.
The international community has been pulled in many directions with these competing crises. So I'm very concerned that the humanitarian resources for Afghans will diminish further, and that will have a dramatic impact.
And now, with the onset of a harsh winter, the World Food Programme has warned that extreme weather conditions will exacerbate the already dire living conditions for millions of families in Afghanistan, leaving many facing impossible choices. A choice between keeping their children warm or providing them with enough food. As Afghanistan battles a worsening economic and humanitarian crisis, aid agencies continue to urge international assistance to address food insecurity and provide relief to millions of Afghans.